Hi there. I wanted to share with you an example of how thought can create our reality. I talk a lot about the nature of thought and misunderstanding of the nature of thought that keeps us on the emotional roller coaster. Well, something happened to me recently I just wanted to share with you. A week or so ago, I went for a nice long run along the coast path down here in Cornwall. And it was really rocky, and I'm just new to running on the trails. I'm normally running on roads. And actually, I tripped at one point, a steep downhill bit, tripped over a rock. And as I fell, and as you do, as you fall, you see the ground rushing up to you rather quickly. I could see I can put my hand down to brace my fall, but I had no choice. His hand was going down straight onto a gorse bush. Now, those who don't know what a gorse is, it's just lots full of many hundreds of thorns. And when I looked at my left hand, it was like scattered with marks where the thorns have been, and I can see some splinters where some of the thorns have gone into to my skin. But it wasn't too badly damaged, it was fine. A few splinters, I carried on my way. But clearly these splinters are not good and you need to get them out. And my wife helped pick some of them out. And I was a bit of a wimp about it. I let her do some, but not all of them. And then a couple of days later, we were out and about with family, and I suddenly looked down at my hand, and there was one still thumb in my thumb and one still in the top of my index finger. What's interesting, I looked at the tips of my thumb and my finger, they'd gone dark, and I was suddenly panicking that I got some kind of blood poisoning, or I was losing the tips of my fingers. There's some kind of deep infection from these thorns in those places. And although they kind of felt okay, clearly they weren't okay. There was something really nasty happening, and I had to get these out as soon as possible. And we were quite away from home. We were thinking what to do. We thought, well, there's a local minor injuries unit. It's open to 8 p.m. If we leave this place at 4 and we'll get back, we can get in there. And my wife used to be a nurse, and she said, well, look, my son has a little kind of little penknife, pocket penknife I gave him, and it's got tweezers on there. And she goes, let me go now. And so I, without my usual fuss, gave her my hand, and she had a dig to see if she can get these last two splinters out. And we were panicking because it looked like I clearly had some kind of blood poisoning or septicemia or something. I was really quite panicking. And she couldn't get one out. She couldn't get it out. To the extent where she just got to open the penknife and just went in with the penknife to try and get this splinter out. We were both that kind of fearful and panicky about it. Well, long and short of it is she wasn't sure she could get it out. And as the day progressed, we made the plan. We'll leave this time. I'll be in minor injuries by this time. We'll get them to sort it out. But still constantly looking at my hand and worrying about what was going on. And it dawned on me saying, well, it could just be dirt. I wonder whether it is dirt. So at the end of the day, before we left, I went to the bathroom and I washed my hand thoroughly. I scrubbed those two thumbs, my thumb, my finger vigorously. And sure enough, it was dirt. And then it dawned on me, it reminded me, early in that day, I've been playing with the little kids. I've been playing with the stones on a gravel path, and I've been joining them in their little game. And clearly I've been picked up the gravel with my thumb and my index finger, and I completely forgot about it for the rest of the day. And later in the day, when I looked at my hand, it generally looked like I had kind of blood poisoning, and it happened to be in the two areas where I had splinters. And my thinking was so convinced that was true. I was so convinced it was true, I let my wife hack into my finger with a Swiss Army penknife. So I thought it was amusing afterwards. Interesting, it didn't hurt too much at the time. I guess I was so focused on getting that splinter out. But it's just an example where our thinking just creates our reality in so many ways, in the small minor ways and the big ways. Just earlier today, I was looking at this plant and the beautiful flowers, and I was just in awe of it. I was looking into the stems of the flowers, into the buds of the flowers, and looking at the beauty of the flowers and the texture of the petals and everything else. And in the middle of the petal I think it's a stamen. I looked at it and I thought, wow, that's incredible texture. It almost looked plastic. Of course, then it dawned on me, yes, the whole plant was plastic. But again, in that moment, I was drawn into my thinking. And our thinking creates this illusion of reality that's so plausible and so true, but it's not. When we wake up from our trance of thinking, we regain perspective and clarity on a situation. Just be more mindful about how you may be chasing your tail of thinking, and how at the end of the day, thinking doesn't serve us. Our wisdom, our intuition gives us greater clarity, greater perspective, and is a much, much guidance mechanism to life.